Everything's love. Well, is it? Apparently, according to some people. But let's have a look at that, shall we? Love is 500 on the scale of consciousness. It goes to 1,000. Each point is available to the power of 10. Love's 500, there's 1,000. Well, it's a little bit far. Let's look at it in the chakras. It's halfway. So most people who are preaching everything's made out of love, first of all, they're really subconsciously focusing on their shit, because they haven't cleared out the 5 to 10 kilos of solid fecal matter in their intestines, and therefore emotionally retarded, because emotions are stored in the organs. Any problems in the way, stored in the intestines. And until the person decides to flush that out, they will always be looking up at the heart chakra thinking everything's made out of love. It's a very low, limited perspective and the very basics of spiritual development. So, get rid of your shit, basically. Stop holding on to it. And until you actually do that, you'll always have that perspective. And let's look at it like, okay, energy, all energy's love. Well, that would throw out all of physics and all of science and everything that we understand about the universe. Made out of love. Well, first of all, those are the people that have their perspective that is outside of them, which is very disempowering, because you're in the frequencies of the matrix and the Wi-Fi all around you. Not smart. If you're taking that in, first of all, you're unable to interpret it because your frequencies, especially the lower ones, are all over the place. And until a person aligns those bottom frequencies, how can they have a foundation? They cannot. Simply impossible. Cause and effect. There's a law. It's called karma. Universal law. You do this, you get this result. Simple. It's pretty easy. It is a bit duality, but hey, most people are stuck in duality. So until a person gets the Kundalini rays and awakens the third eye and the higher centers, they simply do not have an ability to perceive anything correctly, or at least to a decent vibrational level, because they're stuck in the stories based on their subconscious bottom part of their foundation. So they'll always be coming from guilt and shame and desperation, because they're trying to get rid of the shit, and they haven't done that successfully. Let's look at it from another perspective. Like for me, I used to go into the everything's love thing for a while, but then I started thinking about it and expanding. So, what is energy? Well, for lots of people, it's a mystical experience and things that are outside of them. I don't know. And yet, when we look at it, there's a thing called ATP energy in between the cells that transfers, and that would be your vibration rate. So it's an internal. How fast is your bodily function and your homeostasis operating while having a calm centered nervous system? That's your true vibration rate. Puts out any rather large and fully bloated, because there's no such thing as fat, it's a myth. It's just bloating and mucus plug and air. So most people are coming from that position. So if they're going to try and build their temple of a foundation on the heart and love, and do lots of breath work, well, that's great, that will help. But guess what? That air is going to find the air imbalances in the rest of the respiration system, which is generally stored here in the lower large intestine. Guess where that's the stored shite in the body? All the gunk, all the parasites, all the critters, all the absolute delusion, because that's our delusion center. And in the Western world, we are significantly deluded because we have thousands of stored urinary tract fungal infections from processed food and chemicals and in our diet and lifestyle and in our Western world. Try and avoid that. Good luck to you, because I've been spending years trying to fix that. So if a person's still coming from that perspective, they're a very low vibrational operational unit or entity, and they will always be looking up at love. Whereas when you get to the true crown, when you've raised your Kundalini and awoken the higher centers, then you look down and you go, oh, that heart love stuff. Oh, that's beautiful, that's nice. Very basic level. Step it up. And if a person's unable to stay open to new ideas like this and just cognitive dissonance it away, even the subtleties that they don't understand themselves, delusion. They're not open, it means their bacteria are closed. So they definitely need a lot of probiotics and the fermented foods, because our subconscious mind, when it's closed, the bacteria is closed. We're not open to new ideas. When we're open to new bacteria and it's feeling safe and comfortable, in other words, have a base chakra and an excretion system that's functional, so you'll need to do years of detoxing to acquire that, then you can come from a solid, grounded place. and be confident in what you do and who you are, because you're a high vibrational entity. Go do the detox work, and if you haven't fixed your digestion, and I mean 1 meal in, 1 meal out, that's basics. You can call yourself a teacher or a healer or whatever you choose to name yourself as a role, but you'll always be a low vibrational unit. And if you're preaching love, well, guess what? Merge with creation. You've not experienced it yet, have you? So how would you know? It's like a marathon runner looks at a 5-kilometer race as a training run, you just go and do it. But a couch potato will look at that 5K run and go, no way, that's too big for me. Perspective from the subconscious bodily temple. So until you actually fix the lower centers, get rid of the mucus, get rid of the crud, the person will always be preaching love and the heart, because their circulation is poor. Why? Because the circulation goes through the filter organs and down to reproductive system through all the shit. So their subconscious perspective is delusional through all their shit. Yeah, that's the matrix, that's the gunk that's left over, that's your karma. Get rid of it. You watch how far you fly and skyrocket by actually having a base chakrona foundation. Exercise and detoxification and herbalism is fantastic for that. And we'll see if 80% of the people who are 80% of the time sabotaging themselves without realizing it actually start to make a few changes. Be wise. Very, very wise indeed.